What's going on, guys? Fleer from Custom Offsets TV on YouTube. We got Banker here for another, I don't know what we called this last time, 2020 truck shootout, but this time we're talking about the HD trucks, so the 2500s and the 3500s. Kind of going to break it down a couple different sections, but we're going to cover the big three here. So we got Ford, Chevy, or GM, and Ram. Since I think those are pretty much, that's when it comes to heavy-duty trucks, that's your options.
I mean, Nissan's got the one that I think they're killing it.
It's a half heavy-duty, half light-duty truck, but yes. So Ford F250, F350, Chevy 2500 and 3500, and then the Ram 2500 and 3500. Those are the ones. So starting off with, I guess, appearance-wise, the changes for the new year. Jumping into 2020, Ford has a noticeably different front end. It hasn't been like a complete refresh because the cab and everything is all still the same. Yeah. It's new grille, new front bumper, so it changed that up a little bit. There's already guys out there that have 17 plus that are converting to the new 2020. So that tells me that pretty much everything is mostly the same other than a couple of the style things in the grille and the bumpers.
Standard Ford procedure. I will talk about the Chevy because I actually don't hate it.
It's growing on me.
It looks a lot better with the LED package.
You have to.
You have to get the LED. Like, okay, but even the work truck package is kind of growing on me in a weird sense of the way. I don't know. I don't hate it. The GMC is beautiful. There's people out there that hate it. I think it's absolutely gorgeous.
That's what I was going to ask. GMC versus Chevy. Two different front ends, obviously.
Yeah.
The GM is a little more, I don't know, their headlights have a strange shape to them. The Chevy is like all stacked up, but then are split. And it almost looks like the headlights are inverse of what they should be because they got like the skinny part on top.
A la Avalanche. It looks like an Avalanche. It's very Avalanche-esque. Where the GMC is your typical, it looks almost like a Cadillac headlight, honestly. I mean, it's very, very nice looking. GMC has kind of been outdoing Chevy in the whole design section since 2014, but to each their own. I mean, they're still good. I think they're cool trucks.
The other weird thing about the new ones is going to be those mirrors.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to, I mean, I guess you get accustomed to it.
Yeah, and they've said, so this is like their new tow mirror package, and I believe they're power, and they slide out, you know, and they're taller, they're more vertical. So like when you see the guys with the Rams that flip their mirrors up, it's a vertical mirror, so it's further out, and you can see further back, so it all makes sort of sense. But Chevy now has this straight up and down look the whole time, and it's only on a single bar, so it kind of comes up and goes out in a weird direction.
Yeah, and they mount in the middle of the door. So there's that. I don't know. I'm gonna see. We'll figure something out. I'm gonna play with it a little bit, and we'll see what we can do. What I'm not a huge fan of, are the plastic arches.
Yeah, I see a lot of complaints of those. So the wheel wells now have these plastic. It's like fender flares, but they're not. They're the same. They stick out the same width as the rest of the body, and they've also now thrown in orange reflectors into that plastic. A lot of people deleting them or just night shading them, doing something to get rid of them because they are kind of ugly. You got the side of a beautiful white or black truck, and then you got big old orange reflectors.
Reflectors, right? And then I mean, realistically, like Clear's manufacturing makes lenses for those that are going to be a huge hit, I think, for them.
Yeah.
Because I mean, a clear marker, you can put whatever light behind it you want. That's going to be cool. But
I believe I've seen sequential ones out there too that have some sort of tracking to them, which is it's nice. It's nicer than just a crappy orange light coming off the side of your truck.
Exactly. And the molded-in mud flaps on the GM trucks, because we've had a few in here and I've had to deal with them, are kind of a nightmare when it comes to putting big wheel and tire packages, because GM still has the square wheel wells. They didn't really change that in the design, and it's kind of a pain to run big wheels and tires on those trucks. And we had an AT4 in here, 10 wides and 33s, and it barely fit on an AT4.
Yeah.
So, GM back at their old tricks, but
either way, we always make things work. Too. We got a couple starting to pop up in the gallery too, so if you're trying to figure out what fits the vehicles, we do have them in there, because anybody that's watching this, you're going to be adding suspension, adding wheels, adding tires, all that stuff too. And the manufacturers, as far as lift kits go, have started to already kind of push out some new stuff for these 2020 trucks.
Talk about those later.
Okay, sorry. I got excited.
So excited. All right.
Ram.
Ram, 5th gen Ram.
5th gen Ram. So
Motor Trend Truck of the Year, 2nd year in a row.
yeah, 2 years in a row. They really hold on to that one tight. So
well, they haven't got it ever.
It's going to be the same look as 2019. The 2020s have no significant change as far as appearance goes. Where Ram does kind of shine a little bit, where they didn't in the past though, I'm going to say is the interior.
Yes.
They do have a 12-inch screen that's very large. It works well. There's not much lag to it at all. We've had a couple of the new 5th gens in here. I've got to play around with them. And their new infotainment system is pretty nice, because in the past it was not good at all. Their whole radio setup, dash setup, very cheap, very plasticky. They've kind of fixed some of that, especially in the higher trim packages. You get, nice leather wrapped everything and soft touch materials all over the dash. So the biggest, I think, improvements on the Ram 2500 and 3500 is definitely going to be in the interior.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that their whole truck of the year thing is really relying on that high-end interior.
Yep.
And they do look nice. They finally fixed that headlight design to where it actually looks cool. So, appearance-wise, I'm pretty sure that's where Ram got the whole truck of the year. And that's what people care about now.
Yeah.
Ride comfort and looks. And a 2500 truck. Whatever.
So what people are actually, what the manufacturers are assuming people are going to do with these trucks is going to be towing. Obviously, if you're buying a 2500, 3500, it's going to be towing.
I'd hope so.
Best in class towing actually goes to the F-Series platform. They got 37,000 pounds of max towing capacity. You got to have a gooseneck to do that. Bumper pulls obviously a little bit less, fifth wheel's a little bit less, but gooseneck will compare all of them, 37,000 pounds on the F350, and that's with the 6.7 Power Stroke that they've had now for a little while. Other motor option in the Ford is going to be the brand new 7.3 liter gas engine.
Very interesting. Ford, back to a pushrod engine.
Yeah, old school.
Brought out the 7.3
Yep.
again. They made waves when they launched this.
So they're calling that motor the Godzilla, and a lot of what I see it marketed with is the Tremor package as well. So I guess we'll kind of go over power and package options here. The Tremor is basically, it's your Super Duty that wants to be a Raptor, but you still got to tow with it, but it doesn't quite have the suspension of a Raptor. But it's available in cool colors, has a lot of paint to match, it's got black wheels.
Let's call it what it is. It's a Trail Boss AT4 version of the Super Duty.
Yes, 100%, exactly. So you do get a little bit taller. They put on a little bit larger tires from factory, but is it truly an off-road vehicle? I would lean towards no. Obviously, there's videos out there that I watched earlier today where people are doing some pretty serious off-roading with these. They come with Wrangler Duratrax on them, which is a great tire, at least in my opinion. I don't know how you feel about it, but it's no Raptor. You're not going to jump it. It's designed for the people that are going to take their camper to a more remote destination. It's almost like overlanding, but with a full-size rig.
So GM
also
released a new.
We're just gonna go back and forth.
We're just gonna
New 6.6.
New 6.6.
But
new
not
6.6 liters.
Not a 6.6 Duramax, a 6.6
gasser.
gasser. And again, here, there's also a pushrod V8. So using kind of some older technology, but
proven technology.
Yes.
Proven technology. Which, I mean, it's been time. The 6.0 is
long overdue.
Yeah.
For a refresh there.
Yeah, they needed something that was putting out a little bit more power.
So for horsepower, the 6.6 makes 401 horsepower. So actually quite a bit when you compare it to the 6.0 liter that it's replacing.
Which was like 210 horsepower.
Yeah, it was pretty low.
And then you put a supercharger on and you still get smoked by a stock Power Stroke.
Yep, that's what happens. The torque figures for the 6.6 Gasser 2 are 464, so not astronomical by any means, but still enough for most people. If you're not somebody if you're not going to tow the, I think, 35,500 pounds that the LP5 Duramax is going to tow. If you're going to max things out, I think they max out around 18,000 pounds roughly is what that motor is rated for.
Mm-hmm.
That might be a better option for you if you're not the guy who needs the diesel.
Right, exactly. And then, to tie in the packages, we touched on the AT4 Trail Boss.
Yep.
They're actually offering those off-road packages in the 2500s now.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So you get a factory lifted 2500.
Yeah, more options for wheels and tires if you don't want to lift it. If this is your tow rig and you don't want to lift it 6 inches, 8 inches, but you still want to throw wheels and tires on, it's a good option to go with that AT4 or the Trail Boss so that you can fit something a little bigger, a little wider, but still use the vehicle for what it's intended for.
Yeah.
On the other difference here between the gas and the diesel versions, obviously the diesel has an exhaust brake, so like downhill and whatnot, you don't have to wear out your actual brakes on the vehicle. The gasser doesn't have that, but in the tow haul mode, it'll let you hold it at like 5,500 RPMs.
I would love to hear a 6.6 gas motor hauling at straight pipe that bad
It's surprisingly quiet from factory. It's I mean, you kind of expect it.
Resonators and mufflers, and you just chop all that stuff
No,
out.
we don't need that. Don't tell the EPA. Do they care about gassers yet? They will soon. New on the L5P, 10-speed Allison.
Ah, yes.
Yes, very exciting news that we have. We have a nice Allison transmission in there. 10-speed. Ford is doing the 10-speed also.
Right.
You can get the 10-speed. You can get the 10-speed on the gas Ford. You cannot get the 10-speed on the gas Chevys.
Well, it's okay because it's gonna have an 8-speed that hunts for gears either way.
Nope, it's gonna have a 6-speed.
6-speed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So big updates to the motor, and transmission is pretty much just staying the same.
I like it.
Yeah, it's actually not a bad thing that they're staying with a 6-speed, because I think, especially when you get to a vehicle that's designed for towing, you put a heavy trailer on it, you don't want it to be going 8, 5, 7, 6, 5, which just jumping all over the place.
The diesel is now going to do, which, I mean, EPA is cracking down. They got to get better fuel economy, and that's how you're going to get it. Might be a little sketchy putting a trailer. We'll see. We'll see.
So there's plenty of tests that have been done out there, and so far no major complaints with the 10-speed on either the Ford or the Chevy trucks. But it would be nice to actually get one in here, drive it ourselves, see how we feel about it. But big change, so important to note.
See what I can do.
There's a couple cool features that I like in the interior of the new GM trucks, and that's that they're now offering a heads-up display in the trucks, which I really like.
Oh, yeah.
It's a tech feature that's not super important to the truck, but it is cool. And then they also are.
I believe that's AT4 and high country only. Or AT4
probably.
Trail Boss.
You got to spec everything out.
Yeah.
Like if you want one, you've got to manually select it. Finding one with one is going to be challenging, but you can do it. And then they also they're trying to give everybody as much storage as possible. So the cab is bigger, but it's been bigger for a little while. But now they have like the seats that pull away, and there's storage in behind the seats and all that kind of stuff.
You mean the built-in subwoofer compartment?
Yes, exactly. If you're banker, that's what you're going to do, is put a sub in there.
Absolutely.
So that's pretty cool. They've got a lot of like interesting quirks and features. If you want to find out all those details, there's other car review channels out there. That's not what we are. We're just talking about what's coming out and what's new and what's exciting. So those are my favorite inside stuff.
Yeah, I feel like they could have done more with the dash.
It has been the same for a long time.
It's kind of a lot the same. It's not a bad design by any means. It's just
it is weird that it's half round and half squared off on the gauges, but
yeah. With what Ram is doing in the interior, Ford and Chevy could both bump it up a little bit.
Yep.
I mean, driving the Super Duty around, it's 2019, it's not 2020, but like, it's really not that different from Kirk's 2014 F-150.
No, the sync system is a really outdated system, and I know that they've had updates for it, but it's very outdated. It's too basic when you look at the Rams. So jumping back into the Rams, as far as power goes on these things, it's still the 6.7 Cummins that they've had forever.
It's not a bad power plant by any means. There's a reason they put it in tractors and fire trucks and ambulances. And
it is unique in the segment that it's a straight 6. Everybody else has diesel V8 option. Theirs is a diesel straight 6. So when it comes to smoothness and power delivery, straight inline engines tend to be a little more smooth, so they don't shake you around quite as much. Although in any of these new trucks, the technology is there, and the motor mounts and all the bushings and everything that they finally perfected it. They don't really shake too much.
The amount of dampeners on a Ram.
There are a ton though. There are a ton. And with that engine, they've got a regular version and a high output version. The high output makes over 1,000 foot-pounds of torque, or is it exactly? I don't know. Either way, 1,000 foot-pounds. That's the number they always throw out at you. So, is the most torque available in the diesel option? No gasser. Oh no, there is a gasser.
The 6.4. The 6.4, which is again has been around.
Yep, long time.
A long time. 6.4 Hemi. I mean, it's working for them.
I think Ram's always like that. I mean, they're only on their 5th generation truck.
Yeah.
What's the F-150 at? Like 14,
I think 15th generation.
There's a lot of generations in Ford trucks. Chevy trucks too have changed quite a bit over the years, and Ram has 5 generations. So they really kind of figure out what works, and they stay with it until they need a drastic change, which they desperately needed. The interior stuff, big time, is going to be the biggest change, like I said.
And they showed out.
2019 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. 2020 Motor Trend Truck of the Year.
But they still have coil springs in the back of the 2500.
But not in the 3500. In the 3500, you get leaf springs, which is why there's a huge difference between the towing capabilities there, too. So, towing on a 3500, you get 35,100 pounds max payload. Towing on a coil spring rear truck, which is the 2500, again, I believe that number drops to like 18,000 pounds. I don't have that one with me, but it's significantly lower.
So, 35,000 pounds.
Yep.
Potential of 1,000 foot-pounds of torque.
Yep.
You are making every oil rig man in Texas, like their mouth is just.
Yeah, you can get the Longhorn,
They're,
the Big
they're
Horn,
probably
whatever horn edition
skipping
you
this
want.
video and going down to their Ram dealership right now.
I need one right now.
Yeah, put some Longhorns on the hood.
Yes.
Cut the
100%.
bed off and put a welder on it.
And if you want to buy their Pro chassis, you can buy these trucks straight with no bed or anything. You just get the old cab, and you got your engine selections. The rest is up to you.
So what about chassis changes? So Ford's the same, we know that.
Ford's the same.
Ram,
Same chassis.
Ram's
Ram,
the
same
same
chassis.
Fifth gen was very minimal changes from the fourth gen anyway. The 2500 Silverados changed. From my calculations, the control arms are slightly larger in the mounting surface, in the mounting points. Like they're longer, they're further apart than the.
So we can put bigger wheels and tires on?
No.
And taller lift kits?
Nope. They just changed the mounting points, so you can't run an 11 to 18 lift kit.
Darn. The manufacturers do that all the time, and they really screw us over, but I know there's already some options out there that people are drumming up. So it should be any moment now that the kits are released for these trucks. We'll get them all on the website as soon as they're out there. We work very tightly with many of the lift kit manufacturers to make sure that we get them out there. Literally, they're like, hey, this fits. And we're like, okay, here you go.
Yeah,
tell everybody.
It's out. But yeah, with them all having to redesign the upper control arms, this is taking a little bit longer. We've had a lot of people come in already that pre-ordered them, got them last year, and they're like, I just want a small lift kit, and like, sorry, they don't have anything. There's nothing out there yet. You got a 5-inch, like a 6-inch, and a 7-inch. There's nothing under that.
Okay, so that kind of wraps up the 2020 heavy-duty trucks, at least what we know about them, what's happening, what are the big changes. So if you want to check out anything wheel start suspension related, we got that at customhouses.com. Otherwise, if you beg us,
we have tonneau covers, steps, and lighting too.
Well, it's not the big deal, but people
if you
should
want
know.
those, you can get them.
Probably
going
to put some bumpers on the side too at some point here in the near future. So I mean, there's options. If you guys beg hard enough, Cody said that he will do a mid-size truck episode, but you got to ask for it.
Ooh,
we covered
mid-size.
Yeah, mid-size. We're gonna let the Toyota people come in there with the Tacoma.
Oh, we're gonna let the Tacoma in?
We're gonna let the Nissan in, even though it hasn't changed since 2005 or something like that.
All right.
Don't worry about it. Everything will be okay. Let us know in the comments what you want to see next. Peace. Bye.
See you later.